This animal shouldn't exist. It lays eggs, produces milk, senses electricity, and carries venom, a biological mosaic that challenges how mammals are defined. In the cool rivers of eastern Australia, a small mammal moves beneath the surface. Its anatomy appears improbable, yet each feature reflects a lineage more than 160 million years in the making. The platypus, Ornithorhynchus anatinus, belongs to one of the most ancient surviving mammalian lineages, the monotremes. Today, only 5 monotreme species exist, the platypus and 4 species of echidna. Fossil and molecular evidence indicate that monotremes diverged from Therian mammals approximately 160 to 200 million years ago, during the Jurassic period. Unlike placental and marsupial mammals, monotremes retain reproductive traits that predate live birth. The female platypus lays 1 to 3 leathery shelled eggs, incubating them for roughly 10 days before hatching. This mode of reproduction once led early European naturalists to question whether the platypus was an elaborate fabrication. Yet monotremes are unequivocally mammals. They possess fur, produce milk, and regulate body temperature internally. Their metabolic rate, however, is lower than that of most placental mammals of similar size, an adaptation consistent with their semi-aquatic lifestyle. Rather than representing an evolutionary error, the platypus preserves characteristics that illuminate the earliest stages of mammalian evolution. Following hatching, platypus young, known as puggles, feed exclusively on milk. However, the platypus lacks nipples. Instead, milk is secreted from specialized mammary glands through pores in the abdominal skin. The milk accumulates in shallow grooves, where the young lap it directly from the mother's fur. This method represents a transitional stage in the evolution of lactation. Genetic analysis has identified milk proteins in monotremes homologous to those in placental mammals, confirming shared ancestry. At the same time, monotreme milk contains unique antimicrobial proteins, including monotreme lactation protein, which may help protect hatchlings developing in burrow environments. Lactation in monotremes predates the evolution of nipples. In evolutionary terms, milk production likely emerged before live birth, reinforcing the platypus's position as a window into deep mammalian history. From reproduction, the narrative extends naturally to anatomy, and to the feature that defines the platypus at first glance. The platypus bill resembles that of a duck, yet its function is entirely distinct. Embedded within the soft, leathery bill are approximately 40,000 electroreceptors and around 60,000 mechanoreceptors. Together, they allow the platypus to detect faint electrical fields generated by muscle contractions of prey. When submerged, the platypus closes its eyes, ears, and nostrils. Vision and hearing cease to function. Instead, it relies entirely on electroreception and tactile input. Electrical impulses as small as microvolts, produced by the movements of aquatic invertebrates, are sufficient for detection. This capacity is rare among mammals. Outside monotremes, electroreception is largely absent, though it is well documented in sharks and certain bony fishes. The platypus integrates electrical and mechanical signals within its somatosensory cortex, constructing a spatial representation of prey location underwater. Each dive typically lasts 30 to 60 seconds, during which the animal sweeps its bill along the riverbed. Prey items, including insect larvae, crustaceans, and worms, are stored in cheek pouches until the platypus surfaces to consume them. This sensory system is not an evolutionary anomaly. It is a specialized adaptation to murky freshwater environments where vision is limited. Among mammals, venom production is exceedingly rare. Male platypuses possess a keratinous spur on each hind limb connected to a venom gland. During the breeding season, these glands enlarge significantly, increasing venom output. The venom contains defensin-like peptides and other bioactive compounds. While not lethal to humans, envenomation can cause severe localized pain, edema, and prolonged hypersensitivity. Clinical observations indicate that pain may persist for weeks. Behavioral studies suggest that venom functions primarily in male-male competition during the breeding season. By contrast, females lack functional venom glands. This characteristic underscores how evolutionary pressures related to reproduction can preserve unusual traits. In the platypus, venom contributes not to predation, but to reproductive strategy. From venom, the exploration shifts naturally toward genetics, where the platypus challenges classification even further. Sequencing of the platypus genome has revealed a striking mosaic of genetic features. Unlike humans, who possess two sex chromosomes, XX or XY, male platypuses carry 5X and 5Y chromosomes, forming a chain during meiosis. This multichromosomal system shares partial homology with the ZW sex determination system found in birds. Genetic analysis also shows that the platypus retains genes associated with egg production found in reptiles, alongside genes responsible for milk synthesis characteristic of mammals. This blend of traits once led to confusion regarding its taxonomic placement. However, genomic evidence confirms that monotremes represent a distinct early branch within Mammalia, not a hybrid or transitional form between reptiles and mammals. The apparent mixture of traits reflects shared ancestry rather than evolutionary error. The platypus genome provides crucial comparative insight into the origins of mammalian characteristics such as lactation, thermoregulation, and sensory specialization. Beyond its reproductive and genetic peculiarities, the platypus is a highly efficient semi-aquatic predator. Its dense, waterproof fur traps air, providing insulation in water temperatures that may fall below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Webbed forefeet generate propulsion, while partially retractable webbing allows dexterity on land. The platypus constructs burrows in riverbanks, often extending more than 10 meters in length. These burrows provide protection from predators and environmental extremes. Although the species remains locally common in parts of eastern Australia, long-term monitoring indicates vulnerability to habitat fragmentation, altered river flow, and prolonged drought. Because platypuses depend on healthy freshwater systems, their presence serves as an ecological indicator of river health. Each anatomical trait, from bill to spur, is precisely suited to this environment. What appears improbable is, in fact, highly integrated. The phrase, "evolution's biggest mistake," reflects human expectation rather than biological reality. Evolution does not aim for aesthetic coherence. It favors survival and reproduction within specific ecological contexts. The platypus persists because its combination of traits functions effectively. Egg-laying, electroreception, venom, and specialized lactation are not random assemblages. They are outcomes of selective pressures operating over millions of years. Rather than a mistake, the platypus represents continuity, a lineage that diverged early and endured. Its existence expands, rather than contradicts, the definition of a mammal. Thank you for joining this exploration of one of nature's most unusual mammals. Subscribe to continue discovering how evolution shapes life in ways that challenge expectation and redefine possibility.